Now let me show you something. Team, stay with me. So the Judicial Service actually had an audit on all the judges in Ghana, especially the Supreme Court judges. In fact, the Supreme Court judges. And in the audit, the judicial audit, some findings, they came to some conclusion. They got they saw some abnormalities. They saw some illegalities. That's the word I'm looking for. Illegalities, bebre. Now let's go into the audit of the judiciary. This document I'm going to put on the screen. So the Judicial Service they should release a statement and say this is a fake document. This is the legitimate document. Omwankasa ne publish here. Omwankasa our file so. Now look at this. You see this document? Document to a draft management letter. The Judicial Secretary, Judicial Services. And Tiosha April 24th. Now, draft management letter on the accounts of Judicial Service, that's JS, for the period January to December 2023. Into audits Judicial Services 2023 audit NE. This is a legitimate document. Me fancy ye be publish it. Obi ankan na mon frɛ Judicial Secretary and say Kevin Taylor has published this. Is it a lie? Mr. P, Mr. S. Now, Shadie, when you read the first page of the audit, this is what they say. Introduction. Mami and Lajin said you can follow what I'm reading. I always try to do that because department be brand new mudin komono with Jimmy into MPP4 especially. It's always good for you to see the oho. Now, when you read it, this is what it says. We have audited the accounts and other related records of the Judicial Service in accordance with Article 187, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 11, Subsection 1 of the Audit Service Act 2000, Act 584, for the period January to December 2023. Now, this is what it says. Point 2. The following observations and recommendations made during the audit had been discussed with the key personnel, and their responses, where appropriate, had been incorporated in this management letter. 3. We shall be grateful to receive your response within 30 days after receipt of this management letter as required by Section 29 of the Audit Service Act 2000, Act 584. Now, point 2, let me read and break it down. Senebeya, eye PZ for mudi matem, sebio omubi omunko school, MPP bu omusomu ya kwasi ado mobeti bu nyina ase. Where audit service for omelette omutroye statement release any say we have audited the accounts and other related records of the Judicial Services in accordance with Article 87, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 11, Subsection 1 of the Audit Service Act 2000. For the period January to December 2023. It says this: the following observations and recommendations made during the audit had been discussed with the key personnel, and their responses, where appropriate, had been incorporated in this management letter. Almost say, my audit. Now audit now my no. My aye sikasemun kunta inchechire mwe bibia. Na sebio ye audit ni nyina wie na ehwehwe sikasemu se ne yese sika se ne yenye sika ne ade ade nyina wie no. Omo ho ba mu. Omo kwa atwe wo mu no. Oma treleta koma sankofo di nyina twen se omo de oma no yie ebeba. It means say omo ye audit ni wie no, Judicial Service ye audit ni wie no. They actually wrote to the people who were found to say they have done something against the act and answer the clause and answer the Article 187. If they had not committed any crime, saying bonibia contrary to Article 187, those people wouldn't have been written to by the audit service or the Judicial Service to answer questions. The reason why some judges were written to for their responses to be heard by the judicial services audit service judicial services na omomo ye audit na se judge bi antro a kyese ohuni asem onya ebone bibia ni wa ya e kyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ yɛfrɛw. But the moment omo ye audit ni wie na se ka Madam Torkonoo ye tro letter bro yi nyoma bia no a, meaning there were some things you did that are against or contrary to Article 187, meaning webumra so. Especially when you are the Chief Justice or a Supreme Court judge who should know right. Now, yanko enim or documenting him. When you go to the next page of the document, this is what you see. Yen reading boom. Let me enlarge it. Point 21 in this audit report. Disallowed expenditure. Remember the word. Disallowed expenditure. $30,000 and 252,338 Ghana cedis. Sa sikawe a disallowed expenditure. Meaning Article 187 does not allow it. Meaning you have committed a crime. Say your audit near trust say some expenses are disallowed. It means it is not allowed. It means it goes against Article 187. Now let's read what the audit report ekaye. This is what it says. Point 21. Regulation 78 of the Public Financial Management Regulations 2019 LI 2378 provides that a principal spending officer of a covered entity is personally responsible for ensuring, in respect of each payment of that covered entity, the validity, accuracy, and legality of the claim for the payment. 22. We observed during our review of the expenditure on foreign travels that, remember, the word is foreign travels. We observed during our review of the expenditure on foreign travels that the Honorable Lady Chief Justice traveled to Arusha, Tanzania, with her spouse, Mr. Francis Kofi Torkonoo, instead of her security for her annual leave from 2nd to the 10th September 2023. Almost some we are auditing. Who say the Chief Justice actually traveled, foreign travel. Sa foreign travel no na any official trip, na a holiday. The Chief Justice traveled to Tanzania, and the law says say a on one personal traveler, which is a traveler. I was saying only the bodyguard nebekono. She did not travel with her bodyguard. Instead, she traveled with her husband. Now, with this, it means the Chief Justice basically has flouted the law, because when it comes to your personal holidays, you are supposed to, at the end of the day, go with your bodyguard. Now, if you don't go with your bodyguard and you go with your husband, that means you have to foot your husband's bills. You cannot drop your bodyguard and use government money to pay for your husband. The moment you drop your bodyguard on your vacation, it means if you decide to go with your husband has to pay for every single thing. His flight, his accommodation, his food, whatever he does. But what they found out in their investigations, the judicial audits, the Chief Justice traveled to Arusha, Tanzania, with her spouse, Mr. Francis Kofi Torkonoo, instead of her security for her annual leave from 2nd to the 10th of September 2023. So one has been established. One crime has been established. She went on a holiday. Instead of her to go with her bodyguard to be paid for by the government, she dropped her bodyguard and went with her husband and forced the government to pay for her husband. That is one crime. All right. Now, 2.23. We also noted that the Honorable Lady Chief Justice embarked on another vacation. So the first vacation is gone, which she has already broken the law. The first vacation, she was supposed to take the bodyguard for the government to pay for the bodyguard's expenses. She dropped the bodyguard and put her husband in for the government to pay for her husband, which she knows is wrong. So that first crime has been committed. Now let's go again. This is not my document. This is the Judicial Service audit report na make 2023. We also noted the Honorable Lady Chief Justice embarked on another vacation, private foreign travel. Private foreign travel from 16th to the 25th of September 2023 with her daughter, Miss Edem Sarah Amega Torkonoo, instead of her security to the United States of America. She made another vacation trip. Instead of her to go with her security, one person, for the government to pay for her security, she didn't do that. She took along her daughter. And who paid for her daughter's expenses? The government of Ghana. Her daughter's first class, her daughter's business, her daughter's hotel, every single thing, this woman gave the invoice to Ghana government to pay. Second, she has committed 2 crimes. Remember, this is not a circuit court judge. This is not Kevin Taylor. This is not Kwansima. This is not somebody on the street. This is the creme de la creme. The woman who runs Ghana's judiciary. So don't underestimate the kind of her. So be a bonny first one, so it was an oversight. But to do it again, it wasn't an oversight, it was deliberate. Because Madam Torkonoo no to one. So because we are board yende, no be Madam Torkonoo say, oh madam, I was too hungry. This one they forgive me. This is my first time, you know something. Temper there with their justice. Oh madam, forgive me. This is my first time. The Madam Torkonoo will be like, okay, we are forgiving you. Next week, says him say, you, Madam Torkonoo, will tell them to jail. You jail that person. Because then you will tell the person this is deliberate. Now you get what I mean. Now I'm sure idea. Now let's go into the details. Now you see this document. Mami reading point 25 intro. This is in the audit report. What you guys were making Paul Ademochi do no, and then I say case that my Chief Justice. I need to open this. It's not opening up. What's happening? All right. Now, point 25 in the audit report, it says this. The practice contravenes the policy in page 37, P1 and 2, section B, 1 and 2, personal travel by the Chief Justice. Personal travel. And this travel policy. There's personal travel and there's official travel. There are two things. She took advantage of the personal travel. Now it goes on to say that the practice contravenes the policy in page 37, P1 and 2, section B, 1 and 2, personal travel by the Chief Justice of the policy on foreign travels by head of the Judiciary and Superior Court Justices 2019 of the Judicial Services, which stipulates that where the Chief Justice embarks on a personal or private foreign travel, he or she shall be accompanied by the security alone. Mamen kind be Emrano Judicial Services for no air audit review no. They stated Emra a said the Chief Justice here no we boom raso. Almost say, and I'll take it from the top. The practice contravenes the policy in page 37, that is P1 and 2, section B, that is 1 and 2, personal travel by the Chief Justice of the policy on foreign travels by head of the Judiciary and Superior Court Justices 2019 of the Judicial Service, which stipulates that, and I state, where the Chief Justice embarks on a personal or private foreign travel, he or she shall be accompanied by the security alone. The two travels I've mentioned, the two travels I've spoken about, they are all private travels. They are all her vacation travels. And the law says it clearly. When it is your personal travel, when it is your vacation, you need to go with only your bodyguard. And that if you decide to go with anybody else, they need to pay for their own expenses. The funny thing is, this woman drops the bodyguard and then brings her daughter along. The first one was her husband for Ghana to pay, and second time, her daughter for Ghana to pay. Now, Uko Wenima, now read here, go to point 26. I don't know what is in the Paul, I don't much the kind of petition and intina my medjuma kofa sa document we aba. I don't know what is in the petition. So don't say we are doing petition here. I'm responding to Paul. I don't much also who the petition. Now, when you read point 26, this is what it says. We further notice that Miss Adam Sarah Amega Torkonoo's air ticket, which is supposed to be a business class, just as that of Honorable Lady Chief Justice, was rather the World Travel Plus business class, which resulted in an additional amount of $9,000 in her ticket cost. It is not about Madam Chief Justice coming back later to say, take your $9,000. It is the intentions. It's her knowing, say, she is breaking the law. She had broken the law first with her husband. She decided to break the law again with her daughter. And this time, she even upgraded her daughter's travel tickets from regular, what we call business class. She moved it up to World Travel Plus business class. Are you now understanding what I'm saying? So Madam Torkonoo has committed 2 serious crimes. It is and she returned 9,000. No, it is not about the return of 9,000. Nobody cares. She didn't even return the 9,000. What happened was that she deliberately committed a crime. She broke the law twice. Not once, twice. Now, when you go to the table down there, let me read something to you. Name Miss Adam S.A. Torkonoo. Country travel to United States of America. Per diem, or did $10,000. Cost of air ticket, 109,000 Ghana cedis. 1 billion old Ghana. The ticket, I don't know. Miss Adam S.A. Torkonoo, ticket Torkonoo chama ne baniye. Sika Ghana ban tuama Madam Torkonoo ba. Madam Torkonoo, Chief Justice, she knows the law. Onimumrano, but Oma Ghana for ye sika. Emo sama ne ba per diem of $10,000. The per diem is $10,000. Miss Adam S.A. Torkonoo's daughter took per diem of $10,000. Ne ticket, 109,000 Ghana. Old Ghana, no, 1 billion. Now, when you go to the next one, it is Mr. Francis Kofi Torkonoo. He traveled to Tanzania with the wife, Madam Torkonoo, and then called Tanzania. Per diem, Yamani Cruz $6,000 per diem. At the end of the day, Ghana spent $74,000 on the husband. Remember, the 2 trips, they were supposed to pay for their own bills. The government was supposed to have nothing to do with the payment of these bills. So the intent alone, the intent was there to steal from us. The intent was there to commit a crime. Now, when you go down, you see something. Miss Adam Sarah Amega Torkonoo, onunkwan cost of air tickets, 109,000. Honorable Lady Chief Justice Gertrude Torkonoo's onunkwan ticket, 99,000. Difference of 9,500. And then Paul Ademotrika say, and the woman paid back the 9,500. It is not about the woman paying back the 9,500. It is the intent behind her actions. It is not about bringing 9,500. It is the crime that has been committed. It is the deliberate crime. It is the intent. Because the first one now we are there. Why sorry? We a mistake. But you did another one and even upgraded your daughter's tickets. Meaning, a deliberate. The intent was there. It is how you judge. Now it's your konyum. Near the ademu assembly be 2 enim. Say nipano or your first one. Etiamra private trip. And Nigeria Polademocho was hiding behind travel policy. In the travel policy, there is official and unofficial. And then one country. In the travel policy, there's something called official travel and unofficial travel. The official travel, you can go with your husband. The government will take care of your husband's bills because who koye juma. The unofficial travels, which is your personal trip, which is your vacation, the government can only pay for your bodyguard. But what this woman did was 2 times, she traveled with her husband, paid per diem to the husband. At the end of the day, used Ghana money to pay ticket for the husband. And so she did the same thing again, traveled with her daughter, vacation. She paid for her daughter, gave her daughter per diem. The government bodyguard who was supposed to go with her, this woman dropped him. So it means the woman deliberately decided to do what she did. It is a petition. Now, catch the Council of State and the President say, this woman cannot be trusted. She has broken the law deep down and that she needs to be kicked out. Has the person done anything wrong? I'm saying I don't know anything about the petition. I am speaking based on what Paul Ademochi put on his screen. So she's executing what's in her head. Ukojina Kota, it is not about the way through about. They accuse you of something now. And it's a bit of say, whoa, minyawa mekun, the intent keke etuma oko jail. So be catch you say, train now be and no krano etuma oko jail. Mumusa Madam Torkonoo. Na obiaya baako. Now wasaya another one. It means the woman, she decided to execute her intent. It is the intention. And does it go against the law? Yes. And does she know? Yes. You know why I say she knows? The reason why I tell you Madam Torkonoo knows, say, this was the same woman, Rebecca Kufuado, and Samira Baumia, edge illegal salary. And you know that's not case in this. She knows that when you take illegal salary, you need to be brought to court and sanctions needs to be applied. So if she has done something illegally, she has taken illegal money to pay for her husband's trip, private trip, then she knows that sanctions should follow. So if today somebody writes a petition and in the petition that pops up and sanctions have to follow her, why are people making it MPP NDC matter? It's her own actions. It's what she did. What she did is what we are exposing. The intent. She executed her intentions. She knew what she was doing. Because so we read the audits, judicial service audit now. Say another private trip, meaning why first one and also a second one. Into Mumusan say into on and Katia could you so to the Nima. Nipano ya the first one, I was the second one. No, I don't know the petition. I don't know what's in the petition. I can tell you on authority. But Paul Ademochi so in petition no. On na call the petition ma be kire. And it's na make church the Ghana for Mr. Paul Ademochi boa. The reason because of boa say he is trying to clean the woman. Say Paul Ademochi ade or the to the screens no say a true say our petition ma and yeah maybe Chief Justice Torkonoo she could not answer this question. And no person Paul Ademochi may clean up mano or public sympathy. So madam, you are the law, the judiciary, the Chief Justice. Technically, you are the law in Ghana, and you are deliberately breaking the law. What should we do? I wasn't going to talk about this. I had this document like 3 weeks ago. I kept it because I thought to say, Obibeka say an agenda against the Chief Justice. I didn't want to do it. Makacho, I had this document about 3 weeks ago. I decided not to speak on this document because I didn't want Ghanaians to be MP before Rebecca say, I Obiako Tam document Kevin Taylor, Obegu Chief Justice. So I said to my team, let's not touch this document. But until I who did not Paul Ademochi the diabolic thing he was doing on TV, Atrona na Paul Ademochi the deliberate atro sa bonini Jimmy and o Jimmy no. I told my team, say we need to put this document out. And coming here that. Why should I do that? Because you see, as seminar, Eco President Woko Council of State. So I wanted the process to work for all of us to see. Even though I had this, I didn't touch it. Because now I'm person be arguing and say, Kevin Taylor cover document TV, Obegu Madam Torkonoo no. But until Paul Ademochi say who petition no, and in the petition, this is what it's in the petition, and he's trying to clean the woman whilst he knew or he knows. So what he was doing was a lie, no? I said no. Memma Jandamwe Enkoso, I will stop it today. And he was hiding behind what we call travel policy. But he never went into the details when it comes to travel policy. Your official travel policy, official travel Any what day, any what, thank you. My team send me for being come on. Your official travel, any what day, any what personal travel. Madam Torkonoo took advantage of the personal travel. Now, my mention my DB. Let me show you this. So, Samabani and Kebia, we have a reason why I am Kebi. Now, if you are there, let me read this. Point 31. It's in the audit report. Me reading in natural. Yeah, we are about publish it. How many pages, Mr. S? How many pages with the report? Mr. S, how many pages? Let me go. 31 pages. Yeah. 31 pages. Yeah, we are about publishing 31 pages in here. You guys should read everything. We are publishing 31 pages in here. Now, this is also part of the report. It says this. Management responded by quoting the paragraph 9